Please go. Okay. Hello, my name is Sarah Louis with the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program, and this is...
I'm Acadia Roher with the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
Today is the 9th of August, 2019, and I am interviewing Mr. Rickey McCraney, Jr. at his R&L pit stop in Elaine, Arkansas. Can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Rickey McCraney, Rickey Lee McCraney Jr. I'm a former student, a former alumni of Elaine, Arkansas. Grew up here all my life. Went to school here until we consolidated with Marble. Once we consolidated with Marble, I did 2 years there, graduated. Went to A-State for a while. Kind of figured this college really wasn't for me because I like to work, you know. Mm-hmm. And I moved to Jonesboro. I stayed up there a couple years, and once my dad got sick, I came back, and I was just here, there. But once he passed away, I came back to help with my mom, and I just been here ever since then. And I knew I would be back here, and I wanted to do something, make a change. So I was like, what better thing to do than open up a shop, you know, open up a business, something to give back, just do a little bit of everything. And I feel like that's what they needed. And at first, they didn't see the bigger picture, but now everyday people come around, and it's just a normal business now. Everybody comes, stop, shop, and they're gone again.
So, can you explain what Marble is? What's that?
Marble is another smaller town. It's similar to Elaine, just a few minutes up the street. I mean, they're hand in hand. They're both about the same population. Marble may be a little bigger, but same citizens, same class of people, same struggles. I mean, it's just pretty much it's just a little town up the street.
Okay. So, can you talk a little bit about how it was for you growing up? How was that growing up in Elaine?
Growing up in Elaine, it's an experience that you'll never get in a city. I mean, everybody know everybody, and we know each other's full name, whole name. We know where everyone stays. We don't need your phone number. I can say your name in the store. We don't got but one, major store, and I can say your name in there, and I bet you somebody could take me right out to your house. Growing up here, you learn values. You learn making money, like I say, the hard way, which is working for it, which is earning it. Bills here. You don't have any choice but to work. I learned a lot. Everything I learned, it prepared me for the future. It was nice growing up. I mean, you learn how to fix flats. You learn how to walk bare feet. You learn how to do without all the major stuff that a lot of people think that you really need. A new car. You don't have to have a new car. You can drive around an old car and, and have the same lifestyle. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's its own life, it's its own civilization.
Did you ever hear about the Elaine Massacre growing up?
I can't say that I have. We kind of stayed secluded. Like we stayed another 20 minutes back this way. So I really didn't grow up in the city limits of Elaine. I grew up in the outskirts of Elaine. So, and my dad kind of raised us a little different. He kind of kept us away from struggle, too much struggle, too much pain. So a story like that I wouldn't have heard until I grew up on my own, and I, wanted to research and had the access to research, because if it was on my dad, then it would, he want me to live in the future. He don't want me to live in the past. He don't want the past to hurt me,
So when did you first hear about it?
When I first heard about it, I was actually gone when Miss Olsen. She really was, the major part of this. Like I said, I was gone, and I would come down, and everybody talks. Somebody new come, hey, son, there's a new lady, and she has the elementary, and she's doing this, she's doing that. And once I started checking into it, I was like, it was pretty cool. I didn't know we had that kind of history here. I always heard of the race riots and stuff, but I never heard of, the massacres and everything. It was pretty cool.
I'm just curious about your dad, your family. Did you have siblings? I
Yes.
noticed you're a junior.
Yes, I'm a junior. I have one little sister. Her birthday was August the 6th, Desiree Rattler. She just turned 25. Um, I don't know, my dad was just a good old hard-working guy. Every day he would go to work. I'm sick and bad health. He had what they call gout. He had gout back when it didn't even have a name. It was just he would flare up and swell up and stuff. And like it never stopped him though. It never stopped it's a swelling like of the joints and the major joints. It's an acid. The acid eats away at time. As it sits so long. So it started as it may just be in his finger. Then it'll go down. It may be in his knee. His knee may be swollen. It may be in his leg. Or his feet, and his feet will be swollen. But it never stopped him. It might get in toward his mouth, and his lip would be swollen. But it never stopped him. He always went out. We never knew much about fighting for minimum wage, so he was always working for, just whatever they would pay. That was it. And we always made the best out of it. I can't say we never. For us to live the life of farming in a farm community, like we never wanted for nothing growing up. We had everything we needed, everything major. We had big toys like four-wheelers and mopeds, and my dad was just an average man who went to work and paid bills.
So, you mentioned that your dad wanted you to live in the future and kept you away from that painful history.
Yeah.
So what was your dad like? What did he teach you?
Just, I don't know. He taught me patience. That's what, more than anything, he taught me patience. I always want to rush, and I always like, Dad, I want to do this, and I need to do this, and he'd be like, son, just have patience. And I'd be like, if I did an application for a job, I was like, they supposed to call me. He was like, just be patient, and that was just the type of guy he was. Like, he didn't believe in asking anybody for anything. Only person he could depend on was himself, so that's how he raised us. And back then, like I didn't realize that tough love would make me such a tough person, because when I come here, like right now, like I'm here alone, like I'm here until a customer pulls up, I'm here, and I got all the patience in the world now. Sometimes I may have to sit and wait 3 hours, but then somebody will come and then I'll make good money. They may have a paint job, or they may have mechanic work that needs to be done. So it's days where, like I said, all I have is my patience, and I have to just sit and wait, because if I don't come open up these doors, ain't nobody else gonna open them up. If I don't stay here till 4 or 5 o'clock and I miss a customer, ain't nobody gonna open it up. Ain't nobody gonna grab that customer but me. So that's crazy that years ago he taught me patience, and I'm still using it to today.
Growing up, you said you grew up in a farming community, right? So when you were in school, did you ever interact with white students?
Yes.
So
Yes, like I said, it's a small town. Some of my best friends are white, Mexican. It's a small town. We know each other. It didn't, regardless of what our lifestyle were at home, when we were at school, we were all family. I've been growing. I used to go to school right down the street right here. We used to sit in the same kindergarten class, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth, all the way up until we were big kids. So, like I said, some of my closest friends are white, Mexican, black, so that's pretty much it on that. We always, it never made no difference, like I said, about what our family had. Like, my dad may have worked on the farm, but his dad may have owned the farm, but we still live the same lifestyle. We still used to ride bikes. We still wore about the same shoes, the same clothes. I mean, none of that never mattered when we were growing up here, because money was something that our people had. It wasn't nothing that we had, because, we didn't want to be too flashy.
yeah. So to my understanding, you were all in the same somewhat social class, so there
Yes.
wasn't really much racism and tension.
No, not growing up. I can't remember as a kid growing up in here and dealing with like racism. Somebody saying, "Well, I don't want them to sit by me," or Man, we were all friends. I used to rush to get on the bus and sit with my white friends, you know. And when I was at school, I used to play kickball with my white friends and things like that. So, like I said, we were the same social class. Everybody lived the same life. There was no internet then that made us more popular. There was none of that. It was just good old home value, which was a friend is a friend no matter what color it is.
Did that change at all when you consolidated with Marvel? And what was that experience like?
When I consolidated with Marvel, things did kind of change. The kids there were a little more advanced than us. We were just country kids. Opposed to them, they were more of a city, kind of city, rural. You know, I don't know. We used to have to ride bikes miles to get to one store where they could just walk right across the street to the store and back home. So it was a lot different once we got there. But we adapted well because, I mean, we all were the same. Your dad works on the farm. My dad works on the farm. You know, you got family that go to school in Barton. I have family that go to school in Barton. You know, and it was pretty much about the same. It was a little different. It was a different change or a different atmosphere, I should say. But it was fine though. It wasn't much of it. It wasn't too much.
So when you were at Marvel, was that in high school?
Yes.
So do you feel, or how are your experiences with teachers at Marvel?
I don't know. I always was the same. My dad didn't play that get in trouble stuff, so I was always a good kid. I always got pretty good grades. You know, up until I got to be a big kid, I used to have straight A's and B's. That's the only way I could come home. A C wasn't, that wasn't allowed in our household. Up until I got big enough to be like, well, Dad, a C ain't too bad. But like I said, I was a pretty good kid. I always played sports and stuff. I kind of just stayed out the way because, like I said, I couldn't go home with no referral. If I went home with a referral, you didn't want to go home with a referral. But, you had kids who could go home with a referral, 2 or 3 of them. But I didn't live like that, so I was the same person when I went to Marvel. Played sports, and, I mean, everybody pretty much adapted to me because, like I said, I was an okay kid. I wasn't a bad student. I played sports. I was always good. We made the newspaper back to back every year that we played. No matter how many games we won, I still was in the paper for having this many touchdowns or running this many yards, or when we played basketball, we had this many points. It was okay. They treated me good. They treated me nice. They made me realize that being good wasn't so bad after all. All your life you see the bad kids getting away with stuff, and you like, I want to be a bad kid and I want to do this, and them good old home values just took me somewhere, and they still taking me places because everybody love me. They smile when they see me. They talk to me when they see me. It was okay.
Did your mom or your dad or older family members talk to you about their lives growing up with racism and segregation here in Arkansas?
Yeah, my mom, she got a million stories.
What's her name?
Letha Rattler.
Letha.
And she has a million stories about when she was growing up, and like how they used to sit on the bus, or how they used to ride different buses, and how they used to stand out, and things like that about when they played sports. Like my mom would get more into it than my dad, because my dad, he just thought of it as hurt and pain.
Are there any of those stories that you remember that you could tell?
Not anything that I can tell all the way down into detail, But like I say, I do remember her saying that they used to ride different buses once they did start riding buses, and one bus would come through, and it would pick up the kids, and then the colors would have to wait, and then once they did get on the bus, it was cold, and it was a rough ride all the way from down there to up here. So that was the kind of story that she kind of told.
Where was your mom from?
My mom was born down there, and it's about an hour down. It's called Cane Ridge. Population maybe 15, 10. I mean, it's really, we call it the end of the road. I mean, because you have no farther to go. You are at the end of the road. The levee divides you. The river divides you. you have no choice but to turn around. And like I said, we got one store in the town right here, and there's one more on down, and that's the last stop.
So, to backtrack to being in school, you enjoyed being in school. You had good memories, and
Yes, yes, yes. I remember my aunt used to always come to our house, and every year she'd be like, "Little Rick, you got 5 years left. What you gonna do? You got 4 years left." And she walked me all the way down until I was a senior. She was like, "You got a couple months left." And I used to always want to get out of school. I couldn't wait to graduate and be an adult. And as soon as I got out the first day, I was like, what I'm going to do with the rest of my life? What I'm going to do? Because I had friends that I grew up with, like I said, white, black, Mexican, that I grew up with right here since I was 5, 6. I was 17 when I graduated. That's a lot of years to be with the same people, and I live the same lifestyle, and now my life just has to change. But I had really good memories. I love school, and if I could do it again, I'd do it the exact same way because it made me who I am. I always was a loner, but I always fitted in, because people wouldn't mess with me because they were like, he don't mess with anybody. He stays to himself. And that took me a long way, just staying to myself and being my own person, realizing, like I said, that they could get in trouble, but I couldn't get in trouble. So in order to keep myself out of trouble, I can't be standing over there with them. I had to stand by myself, and it was okay standing by myself, and I'm still standing by myself.
so after high school, you said you went to Arkansas State for a
Yes.
little bit, and then after that, how did you get to where you are today?
Oh man, I always liked working. That's all I seen my dad do. I never heard my dad say he was going out to party. All I ever heard him grab his cooler, I'm going to work. And it was 5, 6, 7 days a week, where it was 1 week, 2 week no off day, 3 months no off day. That's all I ever know. So once I got to college, it was hard in college. I chose not to stay on campus. That was the hardest thing I ever did because I was dependent. That made me dependent on people to have a ride to school because I stayed across town. So I ended up letting it go because it was too much hurt on myself. It made me feel bad that I want to go to school, but I didn't have a ride to school, and I didn't have the money for a car. My parents, they living their life. I'm grown now. It wasn't for them to buy me no car and take care of me. So I kind of ventured out, like I said, and I wanted to find me a good job. Found my first job at Miller. It was Nestle's freezer. It was driving. I started picking orders by hand, and I got there and I was like, I want a better position. I told them I was like, I want to drive a reach truck. A reach truck was a truck that went up and picked up stuff from the second, third level. It was like a forklift, but it was a stand-up forklift. Pick up things from the high level, bring it down, bring it outside. That was the easier job. I was no longer working with my hands. I was like, I want a position where I could do something easier and make a lot more money. So I did that. I did that for a while, but it really wasn't for me. It was too cold. It was cold. It was like 9 degrees, and the wind from the machine would make it drop down to like 6. And I stayed there for a while until I just got tired. Like I just couldn't do it no more. It was harder and harder for me to go to work. It was cold. I stayed sick. I stayed with a head cold because it was, like I said, it was like 9 degrees in the freezer. And they had raw vegetables and raw meats, to cook over in the Nestle factory. The Nestle that I worked at, it was the one that did like the microwavable trays and stuff. The lasagnas, the macaroni and Salisbury, stuff like that. So I did that for a while, got tired. I started looking for a way out. The DirecTV guy was at my house. And I noticed that he wasn't driving the real van. I said not the real van because it didn't have DirecTV on there big like you normally see. And it said contract. And I asked him a few questions. And he was like, man, we actually looking to hire somebody here in Jonesboro. I said, man, I can't leave my job. I'm the only one working. Me and my kid's mother were together. I said, I can't leave my job. I said, what am I gonna do? And he said, man, I just train you whenever I can. He was like, you can work in the morning time until you go to work. I used to go to work from 3 to 11. He was like, I can train you in the morning up until 2. You can go home, shower, and then go to work. He said, I know you won't be getting paid, but you will be getting your training done. So I did that for a few weeks, working both of the jobs. I finally left, started with DirecTV. Man, everything was great. Everything was great. I had to learn how to be my own person and manage my money. I was making a lot of money, so I had to learn how to manage it because I was a contractor, so I provided my own gas, my own vehicle. But like I said, growing up here, it showed me how to live without having a whole bunch of money. How to take your last $25 and make that 20 be gas and $5 to get you something to eat. So I did good there. I worked for DirecTV for a long time, and it started getting rougher and rougher. The rules and regulations started changing, and they were so much strict on us about how we was, mounting and attaching the cables and stuff. And it was like it was just too much. It was overwhelming. The job went. I believe that if you somewhere you don't want to be, the only person who can change is you. So I decided that I wanted to leave. Like I wanted to do something else again because that wasn't for me. And while I was working for DirecTV, I was in an accident. My last probably 3-4 weeks I was in an accident in a car. In a truck. And I knew I had some income coming in, some money that I was gonna be getting, and I was like, I need to do something smart with it. I need to try to figure out what's next for me because I already was tired of DirecTV. I said, I let the job find me. So the money came before I left the job. While I was on my way to a job for DirecTV, I passed by a truck on the side of the road, a semi on the side of the road, and I was like, man, that's cool. I wonder, can I own it? It was an older truck. I said, I wonder how much he want for it. I passed on by it, went to the person's house. They wasn't there. It was like it was mint. So I turned right back around just as soon as I had passed by it, and I went back to it, got the guy's number, called him, and he told me what he wanted for it. I called my dad. I'll never forget. I said, Dad, I'm thinking about buying me a big truck. He said, you sure you can do it, man? He said, I don't know. It's a lot to it. I said, I'm sure, Dad. I was like, yeah, if they can do it, I can do it, So while I was on the phone for him, I was actually standing there because the guy met me there at the truck, and I started paying him, and I was actually paying for the truck. I was asking for my dad's approval, but I really was going to do it regardless of what, because I was ready to do something else. So I bought my first big truck, and I worked for DirecTV for just a few more weeks I did, and I had the big truck. It was just sitting up, and I couldn't find a driver. Everybody was leaving me. They had worked a couple of days, get a check, leave. And I said, well, why don't I just drive my own truck? Call the state trooper headquarters, ask them what can I do to drive my truck legally. He said, you need a Class A CDL. I said, okay. I started studying. I studied for a week. I studied from one Sunday to a Thursday. That Thursday, I didn't feel like I was ready. I studied one more day and went that Friday. When that Friday came, I took it, passed everything. Went did my driving part, passed everything. Now I had my CDL. So then I started trucking. Truck for from 2014 all the way up until 18 when my dad got sick. I was up to as many as 3 trucks. Dropped back down because it was always me. I never had any credit. All the money I had was just the money I had from when I worked at DirecTV, and I worked good jobs. So it was always a balance of how to make it. And I dropped down, and I was like, I'm tired of running too. I'm ready to do something else. I was tired of trucking. I'd be in the truck once my dad got sick. I feel like I let those trucks, the money, get the best of me. Meaning that when he was sick, I should have been at the hospital, but I was still chasing money, saying that, well, the bills still due, Mom. I gotta work. Y'all go take care of him. So I held that over my head for a long time about those trucks, about money didn't matter. Because once my dad paid all the money that I had, I still wasn't happy. And I was ready to do something else again with my life. And we were just riding one day, and we always go down the road because, like I said, I was gone for years in Jonesboro, and when I did come back, I never come down this far. I always just come to West Helena because that's where my dad stayed. I may come down here and make it no farther than the store and then go back up. And my cousin, Corey Gathens, he's like a brother to me. He's my right hand man. I grew up with him from babies, from kindergarten. Every class I took, I always took with him. And he took me down the road. We went riding down at the Cane Ridge where my mom and the Snow Lake where my mom and were from, and we come back and we rode through here. When we rode by here, I just thought about Miss Olsen. I was like, man, it's got to be some kind of way you can access these buildings. These buildings are too good just to be sitting and riding away. You know, I went to school here. I knew how nice these buildings were. And once I went down to the end, I turned around and Mr. James White, you know, he helps Miss Mary Olsen. He's a black guy. He's a black business owner here in town. And I said, Mr. James, how can I get hold to find somebody to talk to about this building? Because I seen that garage door, the shop door. I always wanted my own shop. I was good at working on big trucks, but I never had my own shop. I couldn't afford, I didn't have credit to buy a shop. This was my one chance to try to use my name, trying to use the person that I was when I left here, and I had become, to try to access this building. And Mr. James White said, talk to Mr. Clyde and and get in touch with the school board and see. And so I started in on it. And it was rough because it was a lot of unanswered phone calls. Nobody really knew who to talk to. Nobody really knew who to get in touch with. And I was like, man, I can't give up. I was like, it's too nice, man. It was growed up. I said, it's too nice, though. I said, if I could just get this little shop, and if maybe they'll give me the fenced-in part because it's together. I was like, then maybe one day I could own another big truck again, And I talked to Mr. Clyde, and we went about all the proper paperwork, getting in touch with everybody. I had to sit and wait 30 days, I did, to see if anybody would bid on it. So the building was quiet and nobody wanted it. But then they had to run an ad for 30 days on a website to ask anybody, do you want this nice building just sitting here with the fence in? Do you want it? And they ran it for 30 days. And that was the longest 30 days of my life. Every day all I could think about was somebody just putting in a bid. If any other school wanted it, like Barton decided they wanted to use it, or Marvel, all they had to do was just open their mouth and say yes. So that was the longest 30 days ever. When those 30 days was over with, Mr. Clyde called me. He said, Ricky, nobody bid on it. He said, you got it. Man, I was so happy. I was like, how soon? I was like, how soon can I start cleaning up or, and making the play mine? He was like, well, we got other stuff. We still got paperwork, and you got to do this. We got to run it by the lawyer and this. And I was like, man, okay. I was like, please, just ask me, please. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to work. I just want to clean it up. Just let me start cleaning it up. So once everything is done, I'll be ahead. And went by everything. Once I did get it, went by everything, going with the city or whatever. Nobody really paid me any attention. I kind of snuck in because nobody really knew who I was. I had been gone for years. They may have knew of my uncles who were McCraneys or whoever, but nobody knew who I was personally. So it kind of come about the city council that a new building was coming here to open. Kind of snuck. It kind of just eased on in because nobody never want. They don't believe in like going on Facebook or Instagram or something. If somebody give me someone's name, first thing I do is probably try to Google it, or I try to search them on Facebook just to see who they are. But they live by old values here, so nobody, not saying I'm a bad person, but nobody really just checked, to see if this a black person or a white person. So once I did finally get open and people started to come by, okay, it's a black guy. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew how I become who I was. Nobody know my story because I've been gone from here for years. I finished my last 2 years in Marvel. So people were iffy about if I like this guy. Well, let's see who this guy is. Cars will ride by all the time, just go to the end and turn around and come back by and just look, just trying to see, who we were. Some people would actually stop and ask a few questions or check out, the name once I got my sign put up. And I guess it was all for the races. It was all for what was next. Let's see who this guy is. Let's see what he's about. Let's check him out. Let's put him to the test. I feel like they were like, let's put him to the test. Let's see how bad he wants this. So when like I said, it went in front of the city council, it did, but I wasn't at the city council. It was just, my name was just on the list, just, and there's a business that would come and everybody, yay or nay. The few people in there who knew me, yay, and they okayed it. So when it come time for me to go get my certificate, my business certificate, I went up there. Whoa, who's this guy opening up a business? Because now you get to meet me. Now you see that it's a color guy, you know, and I do have gold in my mouth, and you know, but I always dress like this. I always had work pants, work shirt. But now let's see who this guy is. Is this a thug or is this something? You know, they got to figure me out. So when I went there, it was kind of like a hassle at the city hall. Lady kind of give me the runaround about it. Oh, I think because she wanted me to go in front of the people. She wanted them to see me. She wanted them to see what color I wore to okay this business, because there was a chance that my business could shut down the other business if my business was as good as this business up here. Does that make sense? Like, everybody take care of everybody around here, you know? Everybody are friends. Don't nobody want to hurt their friends. Don't nobody want to say, okay, let's put a Walmart here and just shut down everything else that the mom and pop corporation. You see, so that's what I feel like they were testing me. You know, it was a test of how bad he wants it. So she give me a little hassle. She called the mayor. Mayor was like, oh yeah, it's okay. It's been, yeah. Let make sure he gets his certificate. Once I got my certificate, it would come time for my water. They come out. The water used to come in on the backside, but the city council bought this old Votech building. They all were tied in because it's a school system. All the water lines go to one big meter, you know, because it's a school system. So, but when the city hall bought the Votech building, or the city, they cut off all the other buildings with water running out here. So now it was up to me to get my own water meter put back in. It was like $800. They been giving discounts. They were giving other customers discounts. It's other customers who came and told me that they give them discounts. And when it was on me, it was, nah, you're going to have to pay the full thing. I asked them, I was like, there's nothing. I mean, I'm trying. There's nothing. The city can't discount me in it because it's on the city, it's on the mayor. It's on the city council. All they could have said, well, they could have donated a meter for a person who was trying. They could have said, give us $1, you know, and help somebody who was trying, but they didn't. They charged me the full thing. The full thing was like $800 some. Once I paid that $800 some, we tried every option for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, trying to figure out, can we add one back here? What can we do to keep us from having to cut across the road? That's why the gravel's right here, because they had to cut across the road. The water line is actually over there in the beam. So they cut across the road, they did. And I don't know. They for, like I said, 2 weeks we tried every option. After that, it was okay. Let's just go ahead and get the water meter put in, because I had to have water. When I first come, we celebrated every day. Every day here was a celebration. I barbecued. I know people were tired of eating chicken. That's what the other stores sell. They sell fried chicken. I'm 29 going on 30. As long as I've been 29, these 30 years, I remember eating chicken there. People tired of chicken. I just wanted to give them something different, just for a couple of days, barbecue. And boy, they throw the fit. All he's barbecuing. Actually, I want you guys to know that barbecue is prepared outside. You know, it's really prepared already. You just set it on the grill. Oh, they had a fit. Oh, he's barbecuing out there. He's got no water. How's he doing that? Well, if I didn't have no water, well, why did the city put it in? What's taking the city so long? It took me, after those 2 weeks that I paid, you know, I told you we checked every option out, then I finally paid after 2 weeks. It took me almost another whole month and a half for me to get water. I went up there every day. Every time I went up there, it was something else. Oh, we got to find the water main. We couldn't find the water main. Once they did find the water main, like I said, they came and dug for a couple of days on this side of the road, but the water line wasn't here. They had to go through all the records, no computer records, hand records, to find the water line. And it was on the other side of the road. So once they did find it, and put it in, I was already having problems with the police. The police was, I was a young guy, I was coming here. They thought I was coming to open up as a club. I thought all I wanted to do was just party. Like I said, we enjoyed ourselves. It was, a lot of my friends were glad to see me back. A lot of people would be out here. There's nothing else to do. For years, nothing new has been here. No other business has opened up except for mine. So people were glad to see something different. And the police would come by and they would mess with me. They come by. I put all my money into this old building, everything I had. I sold my trucks to put money back into this business until this business could finally afford to support itself. And they would come by and they would mess with me. They would tell me that, oh, you're on the wrong side of town. Only because it's being documented. I don't want to ruin anyone's name, you know. So I won't say their name. But they'll know, if they watch it, they'll know. And the people here would know, the police and everything, how they did me. They tell me I was on the wrong side of town because Elaine is still quartered. It's still very segregated. We have the white folks side of town and we have the black folks side of town. If you're standing on Main Street and you're pointing west, to your left will be the white folks side of town. I'm on this side of Main Street, so I'm on the white folks side of town. Right side of town is the colored people's side of town. So they tell me I was on the wrong side of town to be. I always play music. I do. Like when you guys pulled up, I had my car radio playing. I was playing blues. I always play blues because that's what I growed up on. Blues don't make you feel any type of way. It don't make me want to go to the club. It don't make me want to do nothing. It's all about struggle and how you made it. That's how I feel about blues. So I always play it. And they would tell me that I was on the wrong side of town, One night I was having a birthday party because people were glad that I had a building, and a lot of my family were proud of me. And I was having a birthday party for my cousin here. And the police came and unauthorized used his authority just to bust up in here. And he just come straight in the door and cut my lights on and told me he wanted to talk to me. Brought me outside. I asked him what's going on. Oh, well, you got people out here after a certain time. I said, real, y'all never give me no time. The city never did tell me what time I had to close my building down. Like, you don't see any time on my sign now because still to this day, no timeline has been established. Like I said, it's the white side and the black side, so he was looking out. It was a colored police, but he was looking out for the white people, which were trying to get this noise and they weren't used to traffic for like 13 years here. So he was trying to get it back quiet, what they're used to. Just a few years ago, they had football games, baseball games, everything here. Traffic used to come through here. We used to have, this was the old football field house, this was. That right there was the maintenance men. That's where they kept the lawnmowers and all that stuff right there. The other fenced in spot is the bus lot. So you know how much traffic they're used to here, but it's just been years. And I knew that if within time that they would grow to know me, they would grow to understand that he's running a business back there. So anytime I would have traffic after 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, they call in. Oh, there's something going on the street over there. Police will come, run everybody off. And it finally come to a time where I feel like I had to do something. I got to do something because they running me down to the ground. People were scared to even come here. People would be sitting in their cars and the police would just come and sit until they got in their cars and left. And you know, people don't deal with police, man. We good old country people, man. After guys get out of work here, they get them a 6-pack. And they drink them a cold beer and they sit on their porch and they talk to everybody. And the last thing you want to see is the police. And so they kind of like ruined my business. They were ruining my business. People wouldn't even come. People wouldn't even come to see the place because they like, the police gonna come. They like, I know the police is coming. And so I figured I had to do something. So I went up there to City Hall and I spoke to the mayor. And I told him about his officers and how they were terrorizing me and coming through. And he kind of made excuses for him. Every time it was, oh, well, they only doing it because they watching out for you. They only doing it because they're looking out for you. I don't need no help. You don't sit at the other stores 24/7 and help them. Why? What kind of help do I need? I'm a grown man. I'm on the outside of town almost. what could I be doing that's so bad? And like I said, he kind of made excuses for them. And so I was like, I gotta do something. I was like, well, put me on the city council meeting. Let me speak to city council because one of the police threatened to come take my certificate for loud noise after certain hours, And I wasn't gonna lose my place because I just feel like I just lost. I just lost my dad. I let go of my trucking company for this right here just to come down here and give back and still be treated so bad. So I went, like I said, I talked to him. He put me on the city council meeting. Everybody in the city was already in an uproar because they like, this guy, he ain't messing with nobody. He just trying to have something. They like, why is the police messing with him? It's a small town. If I throw the rock at your car, somebody call somebody, and then before you know it, the whole town know, Ricky throw the rock at that lady car. It's a small town. Word gets around fast. And they was up in an uproar, and they were like, well, we going to the city council meeting. Everybody been talking about, let's go to the city council meeting on the 16th. I had spoke to the mayor on like the, maybe the 8th I did. I want to say the 8th. It was either 8th, it was the 8th. 8th or the 6th it was. I spoke to him then. So the city council meeting was on the 16th. And I've been preparing myself. I didn't know what I was gonna say. I had my best friend, he was down here helping me when I first opened. And he was gonna go to the city council meeting with me, but when the time come, he couldn't make it because his son got sick that day. And my mom, she was gonna come with me, but she had to work that day, and I was like, Mom, it really ain't that important. I was like, I feel like this is my baby. I'm like, I'll take care of my baby. If my baby's sick, I'll take my baby to the doctor myself. I don't want nobody else to take him. So I went to the city council meeting that day by myself, that afternoon by myself. When I get to the city council meeting, the police were kind of snickering because they kind of waved me out for there. They took me out the city council meeting. They took me out because it was such an uproar. People were in an uproar. It was only like 400 or 500 people here, and people were mad. People like, what's going on? Even the whites, some of the whites were like, what's going on? They were my number one customers, the white people. And they like, well, he's a good guy. He's not messing with anyone. Why is this going on? So while I was standing up there, man, I was so discouraged. I'm like, man, how could they do this? How could they take me off? And they know it's something that I need to say. They need to meet me. I was dressed up. I had dress pants, dress shoes. I said, they need to meet me. They need to see who I am. Let me show it. Because I can't go to every house that's behind me because I don't feel comfortable. But I'm knowing good and well if I seen them and they all standing in their front porch and I could walk by and they see me, or I could come up to them and talk to them, they'd be like, that's a good guy. So that was my importance of going to the city council meeting. Let them see me. Let 12 or 13 or 14 or how many people are ever going to be at this city council meeting see me, so that 12 could turn into 24. That 24 could turn into 48 and they'd be like, that's a good guy. I met him. He was up there. He was dressed nice. He was smelling good. He's a good guy. And like I said, the police were laughing because they knew that they had waved me out the ballot. Well, I told them, once I found out that I wasn't on there, I said, well, I'm going to stay here. And I said, at the end, don't you guys get they'll ask for any new orders or new business or anybody got anything to say? I said, I'll speak then. He said, they only give you 5 minutes. I said, that's all I need. 5 minutes is fine. So while we were sitting in the court, it was an uproar. I mean, not in the court, in the Votech, the city hall. The city council meeting, it was such an uproar in there that they added me on. They didn't never tell me that they were gonna add me back on. They just, while they was going through the order of business, they said, next up, Rickey McCraney. And I told them then, I was like, I hope you don't think that I'm satisfied or happy because you guys squeeze me in. My business mean that less to you that you have to squeeze me in. That you couldn't put me on there. I was just sitting at a meeting with you at City Hall and you couldn't put me on the docket. This town is that big that a little business like this can't get on there. And I felt bad because they were doing my business like that, like treating me like that, So when it come time for me to speak, he said, you only got 5 minutes. I said, that's all I need. And I started telling them about how much I had give back. Ever since I came back, we went down to the daycare, the preschool, Head Start, whatever you want to call it. We call it different names, different people. Right here, we barbecue for them. The kids come down here. see the place. Just let them see new things. And they watched me while I worked on stuff. I had a Mayday, a big old field event like a carnival out here on my parking lot for the kids. The kids don't have anything to do around here. The park, they have a park here, but the grown folk go back in at the park, and that's what they talk and stuff. And kids can't be kids because grown folk being grown folks. So I wanted to do an event for them. Man, I can't tell you how much we give back, how many free jobs I did just because that's how my heart is. People come by, little small stuff. Oh, my check engine light's on. Where your gas cap is loose? Let me put it on the machine and cut your check engine light off and tell me if it come back on. How much I owe you, Mr. Rickey? You don't owe me nothing. Small thing like that took me 3 minutes to just plug the machine up and read the code. My dad raised me like that. You don't do everything for money, And like I said, I used to have all the money in the world that I wanted, I felt. And I still wasn't happy. Only thing that matters is family and values and staying true to yourself. I don't know. It's been a hassle. So after I spoke at the city council meeting, they recorded the video. When I left, everybody started calling my phone. They would just call and they were like, I heard you did good at the city council meeting. It brought me to tears. I was like, man, did I really show them who I was or tell them that how much I give back and how good of a person I was and it meant that much? And then the video, the lady, Jane White wife, Vera, she posted the video. And when she posted the video, man, people like, I didn't know you were down there being treated so bad. And man, it brought me to tears because my story finally was getting out. I was like, man, they don't know how many days I've been down here without one customer coming because the police run them off, or how I've been trying to get my business back and I can't get it back because people are scared, and once the story got out and people had a change of heart, they were like, he's just a good guy. He's just a regular person. So they give me a chance. And business started to pick up. Things started to change. People started to come by more. Police started to stop riding by, And the business started to pick up. I got bigger and bigger. My customers behind me, they got used to the noise, and come to find out it wasn't even the neighbors behind me. It was just a lady who worked in the city hall. She stayed right behind me. So she was telling them that she heard noise all night, and which made other people have a bad feeling about me, like, oh, well, she said she heard she couldn't sleep. So, it's a small town in the world. That's how that got about right there. But once they give me a chance, my noise wasn't nothing to them. They realized that, man, it's a good guy. He not doing anything around there. It's glad though. I started going to people's houses and fixing vehicles and doing stuff for cheap that I love to do. I love working on stuff, by the way. Owning my own 2 trucks, that got me used to working on my own stuff. Working for DirecTV got me used to working on my own stuff. Being a child on the farm got me used to working on my own stuff. So I'm good at what I do. And so that's what I do here now. That's how this place come about right here. Is just wanting to give back. After my dad passed away, I realized that I needed to do something here. And I opened up this shop. Still to this day, like, I'm happy. I don't make the kind of revenue that I'm used to, but I'm happy. When I sit in that doorway and just look out over I remember those beans, when it wasn't even beans, those soybeans, it was just dirt there. Now they done growed up and now they about to be harvested here in a couple weeks. So I just sat here for 3 weeks at a time and growed, and what you see is what we have become. R&L Pit Stop.
That's beautiful. So, from what I got from your story was that you dealt with a lot of, racism and discrimination just because of a business, your own, because you're a black owner, in a small town with a history of racism. So, how do you feel today? I know you said you feel happy, but what else do you feel having your own business and being able to help the community, help the kids especially?
I feel change coming. Uh, I'm not the most popular person, but a lot of people do know me. And and when they see me come back home, a lot of people like, man, I never thought about coming back home. But Ricky, you moved back home. You left what you were used to. It was nothing but opportunity. Every job in Jonesboro almost 16, 17, $18 an hour, $22 an hour. I left where I could quit a job every day and have a new one the next day to come down here where it's one or two jobs. And I feel change coming. Change is coming. And people, a lot of black people call me every day and ask me, Ricky, what does Elaine need? What do they need? And I can't really say. I really can't say. I tried to open up everything. A one stop. That's why I named it a pit stop. Definition of a pit stop is everything. You can stop for refreshments, get your vehicle fixed. You can grab some food. You can just sit around and lounge. It's a pit stop. It's just somewhere where you go for a few minutes and then you're gone again. Change is coming. And like I said, we're segregated, but I'm a black business on what is considered the white folks side of town. And the white folk come by, they go to the baseball field. They trust me so much, they leave their cars. Sometimes I have 2 or 3 cars out here lined up, and they go to the baseball field. They bring their cars and drop them off. They call the number on the sign, leave me a voicemail, and ask can they get detail at 5 or 6 o'clock. And change is coming. And like I said, they help me. A lot more white people come by and help me, anything that they can do. Like the city, even with me and the city having disagreement, they still bought out the fire trucks for the event, bought out all the fire trucks. They had the police cars. I had West Helena. Who else? I had Lakeview. Change is coming. It's here.
I was just curious how long this building sat empty before you bought it.
I went to school in Marvin in 2006. We consolidated in 2006 or 2007. I think it was 2006 though. So I guess how many years that is. It just one day they just left and hit the light switch and said we wasn't coming back down here. We're not gonna do nothing here. And all I can remember is seeing this building here. And I remember we were just going out the back door to the football field, just putting on our cleats and our pads, and now it's just a lot. So I knew everything was here, you know.
You literally grew up in this building.
Yes, I literally grew up. Well, when I was a kid, 1st through 6th, we walked through here. You know, that's where the kids walk through here to go home. So you always pass by here, you'll see the seniors. This was the senior high side. So the senior boys will be standing by this door, this tree, and the junior boys on this side, we'll be by this tree. So we walk by here or seen this place all the time.
Are there other buildings on campus that are still empty, or is this starting to get...
Everything's still pretty much vacant. Everything like the superintendent office, it's still a really good brick building, just needs the roof redone on it. If a person had a mindset or had the willpower to come back, that's a really good building. This the old ISS building right here, like even with the roof what you see right here. Yeah, it's messed up on that one end, but with a couple dollars, man, you can bring that building back because brick don't really lose its value. And that's all I can think about this 10 building. 10 really doesn't lose its value.
So you're a black business owner, you're a community leader because you get to, I guess I'm assuming you're a community leader because you get to help kids, you get to give people jobs. And
I would hope so. I would hope they feel as I am, because my heart is big and that's all I do. I done gave back probably more money than I done probably made. That's sad. Everything I try to do, I know that they're watching me. And I always be thinking like all the older people are dying, so if don't nobody pick up where they left off, then nobody's gonna do it. So I've been thinking of more ways to get the community involved in, which I come up with a plan. Like we got the high school right up the street and they got a gymnasium. So now, from here on till harvest season start, till I get to running my truck during harvest, I want to open up the gym on Sundays. It's like a place for just to get out the heat. It's hot outside. Play a little music, let them run around in there, and just have some fun. Just give back. Just give back. And sometimes the free things matter. Just have organized basketball games and stuff. Get the older people something to do because they'll love to play against the younger guys. The kids from the high, this come about because the kids from Miss Olsen's summer school program walk by here every day. And they say, Mr. Rickey, you still got the old, they know this is a football field, you still got the old pads and stuff? I said, I got some on. Can we play one day? And I'll be like, yeah, but it's a lot more that goes into it. You had to get more in the paperwork and stuff because I don't want them to get hurt and, insurance reasons and stuff like that. And so they were like, well, because I guess they realized, it's taking me a little longer on the football part because I don't want them to hurt one another and stuff like that. That's a contact sport. And they were like, well, what about basketball? What about the gym? And I can access it. Me being the person that I am, I can access it. I could go find the guy who has the key and tell him, hey, call the school and ask them, is it okay if I have a basketball game? Or is it okay if I open up and have a volleyball game? Is it okay if we play kickball? Or is it okay if the kids play dodgeball? And I feel like because I do own this business, like it gives me more access to things, and it makes me become a better person and a bigger person than I ever dreamed of. And more than anything, I'm doing what I love and what I was raised up, and that's just giving back, and it's just helping.
So, you mentioned Miss Mary Olsen a lot growing up. Is she a white woman?
Yes.
The white woman, yeah.
Yes.
So, how did she teach you about your history, about empowerment growing up?
Miss Olsen, she just come here. Miss Olsen just come down a few years ago, and so she was kind of like a mystery. We all knew they like, hey, a lot of people in town were mad. And like some white lady had the school, and they were like, well, she's doing this for the Mexicans because her building, waves of prayer, but they didn't give Miss Olsen enough time. They just judged her off of the first thing that they seen or heard. They never knew that Miss Olsen would turn it into a food pantry as well and give back to the community. Sometimes the people in the community run out of food, and so when the pantry opens up and they can go down there and that truck pulls up and they can get their food off back of there, they got the cases of fruits and stuff. They like, man, this white lady, hey, she must be a black lady. Because it no longer matters what color she is because it's the heart. And that lady has done so much giving, and it just motivates me because even without her, you guys wouldn't be sitting here because I wouldn't have the resources to access you guys unless I really just dug into it. But this was a white lady, and every time somebody comes, she always makes sure she send them to me and tell my story because she loves my story and she loves the person that I am. And this is a white lady, which I say that because color doesn't matter. It's about the heart. You cut me, I'm going to bleed red. You cut you, you're going to bleed red. It's all the same. Miss Olsen is a really great lady, and she motivates me, and I know she's going to help me become bigger than I ever dreamed of. Way bigger. All because she wants to see me succeed. She wants to see a color guy get ahead.
So you mentioned earlier that you have a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does your is boy or a girl?
A son.
So your son, does he participate in her summer program?
Yes, he comes down. He does more work at the shop. Really, he just had got out of school, so he really don't want to do too much school. So whenever he is, and he goes and rides his bike down there when they outside and stuff, he go down there and participate and stuff. He does. And Miss Olsen always make sure, or Miss Glasgow, they make sure they give us fruit and stuff like that. They do.
So do you know if he's dealing with any racism at school or anything?
No, I think everybody should. It's something that people should realize does go on. But he does. He goes to Memphis. He's in school in Memphis with his mom, and he kind of goes to an all-black school. So it's a public school, but it's more black there. And I wish he would have grew up here because all he can, the only image he can have of the other race is what he hears or what he sees. He hasn't actually lived with it. And like I said, only way I can mold him is just me, myself, telling him that it doesn't matter. Skin color doesn't matter. It takes people like Miss Olsen for him to realize, like, hey, that's a good white lady. You see? Or it takes people like yourself to get out this story right here and show them that color doesn't matter. We all should just, we all shouldn't just, but I believe that if we would get along and we would come together, that we would be a lot better, we would be a lot stronger. We wouldn't be so divided because we can't access certain resources because we live different lifestyles. Like I said, it all goes back to Miss Olsen, which is a white lady. She accessed you guys because the life she grew up or the life she has made for herself as being, and it makes it better for me because now I can access those resources through my friend. Hey, I can ask my friend, hey, any people, can you, and she can access those people and get them to me, and now they can meet a person like me, and now they can be like, well, that's a good guy.
Do you talk to your son about the issues you faced here, like the harassment, the police issues?
I always do. I always tell him everything that I go through. Not for him to make an assumption on people, just for him to realize that life isn't easy as you think. Because I never, and I say the same term a lot, in a million years would have guessed that I would be dealing with it. I thought that people would be glad to see me here. I was like, well, they be like, it's a new business, let's just run here. They weren't. It was an uproar. It was, let's figure out who this person is.
Because you're black.
Yes. And there's not that many businesses around here that are black owned. So you have to just see for yourself what you want, and who this person are.
There's power in being a black business owner in a lane.
Yes, a lot of power. But power isn't always good because they always watching you. I have no room for error. When, like sometimes my friends, like I said, they get out work and they like to drink beer. So if they ride by here and they got their beer can sitting on the back of their truck, they watching me. Now he's drinking beer. Now they got beer cans. That's why you see I got the no loud music sign, and I got a no drinking sign on the other side of it. It's somewhere here. But like I said, with that power, they always watching. The eyes are always on you. But it's not about what you do when people are watching you, it's what you do when they're not. And when they're not watching me, I'm the same person. I wear the same sort of outfit. I didn't just put this on for some certain reason. I didn't just put this cap on for some certain reason. This is me. This is Rickey McCraney Jr., the guy that you're seeing.
Do you have a question?
Indeed.
Okay, is there anything that you'd like to share with us before we end the interview? Like anything you want to leave us with?
The only thing I can say is to anybody, black or white, just dream big, because it takes that one person at school who you said that I'm going to be a lawyer to be a lawyer. It takes that one person that grew up and said I'm going to be a doctor to be a doctor. That one person who you thought was crazy for saying I'm going to be a police to be a police. Just dream big, and like I said, just don't never give up, because you can access anything you want in the world. I'm pretty sure I could get close to an astronaut if I just get online and find hey man, can I just meet you? Can I just see you? If I just apply myself and try, I can make it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.